Here's the patient. It's a Takemine, or Takemine, or however you pronounce it. It's an older model guitar, and it's got one of these bridges on it that somebody had the bright idea they could not have to use bridge pins on it, and it didn't work out too well on this deal because the man said it was hanging up on the wall one evening, and all of a sudden he heard something pop like a shotgun, and this is what happened. So I'm going to try to make them a bridge for it. Here we are with the little heating blanket hooked up, plugged in. We leave this thing plugged in for, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so. Just need to get it hot enough to soften this glue up, because you got some rosewood glued to a piece of cedar on that top, and you got to struggle between those two woods. I think you know who's going to win. The rosewood and the cedar's going to give up, so we need to get it hot enough to let the glue turn loose. What I'm going to do now is take this heat off of it. I've gone just about as far as I can across there right now. So we're going to get this thing off here and see what we can do. That cedar it's hard to get between the two woods without getting down into that cedar. I don't like this design of a bridge. And look how much of that cedar came off that thing. Ho, ho, ho. What have I gotten into? Now we're going to try to super glue this bridge back together so we have a pattern to make this new bridge off of. I'm just going to wick some of this thin CA glue down in here. Try to get it back to as close as I can to what it was originally. We've made a pattern out of some 40 thousandths of an inch thick plastic that we keep around here. You got two lineup pins on this thing, and I've made several of these things to get them to fit. And I got the bridge going down on there, just like that pattern. And I've marked these outside holes. This is a delicate little thing to try to copy. These holes in this pickup all have to line up, and they got to be the right depth. You got a little piece of metal that goes down in there. It's a pretty critical little deal there, I think. I spent quite a bit of time making some patterns with some of this thin, about 40 thousandths of an inch thick plastic material that I use for patterns on guitars. And it's a tedious thing. And if I didn't say it before, this will be my last Takemine that I ever work on. I said that last time, but my old buddy, I hated to let him down, but I promise you, this will be my last Takemine. They can talk them minis wherever they want to, but they ain't going to take them to Nichols repair shop, because they ain't going to work on them no more. There's no reason for anything to be this complicated, especially a bridge. I don't like that design. I'm going to put bridge pins in it. Here's the way the thing goes up in the bridge. This thing goes so far with one set of holes, and then the top part's got a slot in it. That's a real challenge. We take this pattern to the piece of rosewood, cut it to the proper thickness, measure the thickness with a caliper here, and we've drilled the holes from the bottom, had a template for the bottom. These holes for this thing here don't go all the way through, but we got them in there. And now we've got the template on here for the top, and we'll go over here to our router, pin router, and we'll cut these slots. Well, we put this thing on the pin router, cut these slots. I've oversimplified this thing by not showing all the details, but it's been a major project. But we've got these things fitting in here. There's two screws that hold the pickup in there, and then there's two screws that help hold the bridge down, and I've drilled some holes for the bridge pins that I'm going to put in it. Here we are shaping the outside portion of this bridge. Here we are, we got the bridge shaped and test fitting it with the clamps here. We're going to put epoxy glue on this thing. I don't usually glue a bridge on with epoxy, but this soft cedar in this top, there's some of it missing from where the bridge broke, and then some of it tore up, taking it off. This is a little 5-degree reamer. We're going to bevel the edge of these holes. Now we're going to have to cut some little ramps. I'm going to wipe a little mineral oil on this bridge. Here's a little shot of this bridge after I got it finished. The old bridge and the new bridge together. I never did like the idea of trying to run those strings through the bridge. That's just my personal opinion, doesn't mean it's right. But we converted this thing to a pin bridge. Well, here's the old guitar. I got some strings on it. And that's going to be it.